Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another Cloudbeds live episode. My name is Paula. I'm a senior PR and partner marketing specialist at Cloudbeds and the host of today's show. If this is your first time with us, we host a live show here on LinkedIn every month where I chat with renowned industry professionals about different topics in the industry. I am that lucky. All the episodes are recorded and you can find them on our website, cloudbets.com/videos. We've had amazing guests and great conversations so far. And today's episode is the last one of 2024, and I cannot believe I'm saying these words. It's been such an incredible year of Cloudbets Live, so I just want to take the opportunity to thank you all for the support. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. And so let's rewind 2024 and unpack the year in hospitality. And we may have saved the best for last, because today's guest is the one and only Glenn Haussman, and he will recount this year's biggest trends, events, unforgettable moments. He will share what he thinks made 2024 a standout year, and maybe he will get from him his bold predictions for what's ahead in 2025 if he dares. Uh, Hello, Glenn. How are
Hey,
you? Thank you
all
so
right,
much for
I
being
don't
here.
know bold predictions, but lukewarm ones. I got those plenty,
Oh,
The
oh,
cool thing about making predictions is you can say pretty much anything, and then nobody's going to look back on this in a year and see if you're right. So you can sound
oh,
smart, and you get no
yeah.
accountability. It's a win-win for me, Paula.
Yeah, well, that's true. However, just because you said that, I'm gonna write down in my no, I'm kidding, in my notebook, and and I'm gonna come back just to see if what it was that you said. But in case you work in hospitality, before we start the show, I just wanted to do a quick
Right.
introduction of Glenn. I am sure if you work in hospitality, you've heard of Glenn Haussman. I mean, how can you not? With over 25 years in the hotel industry and
Uh,
broadcasting. Oh, yeah, you're going to have to listen to this. Uh, Glenn, I work on that, Glenn. Please give me
all
that
right.
moment. Okay. Glenn is a hospitality media powerhouse as the host of No Vacancy Live, which I love, the
Thank
number
you.
one hospitality podcast. Glenn brings the industry top voices together. He covers major events, trends with unmatched energy. That's so true. And expertise. And finally, recognized as the number one hospitality social media influencer. He's been featured in the USA Today, the New York Times, now Cloudbeds Live. You can add to your list too.
Yeah, baby. Put
Yeah,
that at the top of the list.
and more. So again, thank you so much, Glenn. I'm so happy to have you here. I mean, as the introduction said, you were, you know, like almost a celebrity, and you know that many years ago I already wrote you and told you that I'm a big
Yes,
fan.
thank you.
So
You're very kind. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for having me here today. It's exciting to do something with you again.
yeah, thanks again. And well, people are starting to join us. I can see we're starting to have some hellos here. Hello,
Hello,
Karina
Karina.
from Brazil. Please let us know if you're joining us. Welcome again. And let us know where you're watching the show. Write the comments, your questions, whatever you want to say in the chat box. We love interactions. Both me, Glenn and I, we love them. So don't be shy. Use the chat box. So let's get this started, Glenn, because
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have a lot to cover. And let's start with
Mhm.
a very simple yet not simple question.
Uh,
How would you describe 2024 for the hotel industry? We are in December.
right.
Were there any standout trends? Anything that got your
Yeah, I'll
attention?
say it's a year of the haves and have-nots. It's still that kind of scenario that's going on. If you're in San Francisco, you're probably not doing so great. If you're in other places, then boy, oh boy, you are doing absolutely fabulous. I mean, up until the last couple of months, Las Vegas was hitting record month after month after month after month. So that things were going really great over there. But I think when you're looking at the big issues and what we've been experiencing here, at least in the North American hospitality industry, is continued pressure, upward pressure on how much it costs to operate hotels. And we're seeing an inability to keep pushing up those rates as customers have worked through going, I'll spend anything to, what are you kidding me? So we got to figure out how to maneuver through that. So I think we started to understand that. We're starting to grapple with it. And now in 2025, we'll really be able to start through the solutions that'll help increase profitability through lowering your costs and figuring out smarter ways to get people to spend more money willingly.
Yeah, no, we see this in the people that interview here. They're from UK or
Mhm.
Spain, and I think everybody is struggling with the costs right now. I think it's like a global
Oh, it definitely
problem.
is. We're lucky because in the United States, inflation has been at a lower rate than in a lot of places, such as
Yeah,
Europe. So I am sure there's
yeah,
extraordinary pressure on absolutely everybody out there.
yeah. And then you're mentioning like to make lower costs, having more money,
Mhm.
and also at the same time, I think one of
Right.
the, I don't know if you hear that too, but I hear at least often, is to how to lower prices, but at the same time provide an exceptional service.
Yeah,
So
definitely expectations are way up for the price you're gonna pay. You know, at the beginning of that horrible period that we went through, everybody's very forgiving, but then things got very expensive, and people have short memories, and they want the value for what they're paying. I think a big issue that I'm seeing out there is that companies are insisting they're offering value for what they're charging, and customers are saying no, you're not offering value. Stop pretending. Major resorts, major theme park companies done a great job of pushing up the prices while stripping out a lot of value from the equation. And customers are figuring that out and are going to spend their money where they feel that they're getting the best bang for that proverbial dollar.
yeah, agree. I think gas
Mhm.
are smarter than than at least some hoteliers think,
Yeah.
and we are so used to now with high level of service in different industries, and so expectations in the hotel, like like such as personalization that everybody talks about,
Yeah.
but we are used to now with everything else, so why not in the hotel that I'm paying
Hmm.
sometimes a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a puzzle still. I can just say hello here to Doug. Doug saying hello, Glenn.
Hey,
Uh,
stranger. Yeah,
thank you.
I bumped into him like 30 something years ago, and
Oh,
I'm still annoying him to this day. Yeah.
that's funny. Thanks for joining us, Doug, and everybody else there joining us. Thank you so much. So okay, so next question.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, are you
I
ready?
know. I was told they get progressively harder, but
It's like
have to,
that game, that one
I was
million.
just
I
gonna
don't
say,
know.
if I have to do the phone a friend feature, I'm ready right
Yeah,
now.
you can ask the audience too for help or something like that. So was there anything, I mean, you talk to so many people,
I do.
you do, so was there anything at
Sadly,
all?
it's mostly me on a street corner yelling randomly at people.
No, I do not think that's true, but is there anything in hospitality that
Right.
was surprising for you, bad, good, or simply surprising? Perhaps something that you share, because I know you share also a lot of news in your
Yeah.
social platform. You have no vacancy
Right.
life. I mean, you have a lot of sources.
Mhm.
Anything that you can think, okay, I could not believe when I heard
I,
about
I don't know
this.
if there's anything that I could not believe,
Okay.
but there are some things that happen that really just show, how smart the hospitality industry is, right? Hilton buying Graduate hotels this year, for example, and making a deal to distribute Auto Camp and gets them firmly out there. To just today, we saw a deal where Marriott is doing a sort of same sort of deal with the company for outdoors. So it's kind of like I'm fortunate enough that I get to speak to a lot of people that I learn way ahead of time what we think is going to happen next. And it's a real fun validation to see when these things happen. So I've been preaching the next big thing after extended stay is outdoors, focusing more on outdoors because people really want to connect with nature. We're seeing biophilic design. That's the whole notion of bringing the outside inside to hotels take off. So why wouldn't the outside take off as well? So we knew that was coming. Plus, I'd like to add, I'm really surprised by how deep the extended stay market seems to be. I remember joking around when Hilton rolled out Home 2. I'm like, a little late. What are you kidding me? It still seems early. All these new companies are still coming out in this sector, and there seems to be so much appetite for this product out there in the market. So those are the big things that I think I saw this year, plus a lot more consolidation, companies buying companies, particularly in the management company sphere. So I was expecting to see that happen, and it's always surprising when it does.
Yeah. Well, the nature thing, at least here in Latin America,
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, it's still huge. Like it's a whole, tourism
Yeah.
segment that, yeah, people are still crazy about, and yeah, it's I don't think hotels, at least here, are taking advantage of that as they could.
Yeah.
Uh, so let's now move on to events,
Yeah.
because again, you've been to,
I
I don't
happen
know.
to one or two.
Oh, yeah, exactly. One or two. Yeah. So you've been part of many hospitality events. Did you notice, Glenn, any shift in how these events are either conducted or attended compared
Yeah.
to previous years? Any difference this year in events in 2024?
So nothing specifically with events themselves, but there's consolidation in the event space, right? There's a couple of big players now that are taking it up, and that's going to have some sort of effect on the events themselves. Now, speaking about the people going to the events, I'm seeing a lot more suppliers to the industry and designers and stuff continue to appear at events that they normally didn't, at financial conferences and stuff. And I'm starting to see more of a cross pollination. This industry has been so siloed for so long. I mean, I've got my technology hospitality friends. I've got my financial hospitality friends. I got my design hospitality friends. I got my food and beverage friends. I could go on and on with the silos. So we're starting to see some of that breaking down of the silos by nature of people going outside their comfort zones and stepping into other conferences. Now, we all know the hospitality show is trying to bring all of these disciplines together under one roof, but I think the industry itself is moving in that direction. Now, Paula, I will tell you the bellwether that I have for the overall strength and health of the hospitality industry based on conference food, specifically conference sushi. Now, those of you who have been following me for a long time might know my theory over here, but you could tell the state of the hospitality industry by the quality of the sushi served at the major industry financial conferences. If they've got the folks behind the counter doing rolling sushi and all of that right there for you, we're at the top of the business. You're probably enjoying a wide variety of fish over there, aren't you? Right? You're surprised to see that particular piece of fish? Well, that's because we're in the incredible days of the hospitality industry. When it starts to slip a little bit and attendance starts to slip in the events, well, they'll cut back on the types of cuts. Maybe you'll just get tuna and salmon. You're not getting all the other things. Maybe it's just pieces. Then, oh no, the industry starts to get even worse, and you only have little cut rolls of maybe tuna. And then we're in a recession when it's only vegetable sushi or none at all. Follow the sushi. It will tell you how to invest in hospitality.
Wow. Love that. Love that tip. Ari here is saying you need more AI hospitality friends, Glenn. You
I'd
have to
see.
add.
Yeah, I mean, now that the real world has shunned me, I'm really hoping I could get an AI friend. Either that or, maybe I'll try to, get Wyatt from Weird Science over to help me create somebody.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay. So again, you talk about how it was 2024, but do you have any expectations of events of 2025? Do you think it will still be a popular, I don't know,
Yeah, I think,
investment?
all right, I think the events will be popular in 2025, but I think there's a couple of things that are working against the overall health of that part of the business. And I say this with love. The event people out there, you're starting to charge too much money. And I'm hearing it all the time. And people are going to have to make decisions about how many people they're going to send to the event and how many events they're going to go to. So I think people in general, because the prices for events are soaring, are going to make more choices, right? So certain events I think are going to do great next year, and I think certain events are going to have a lot more trouble because of this overall upward pricing. It's bad enough that it's costing me so much more to run my hotel and pay everybody to run it, but now you want me to spend how much to come to your event for a day and a half?
Yeah.
So I think that's a real issue. Also, I think that there's going to be a lot less trade show space that's sold. I think people are going to take smaller booths. I think a lot of companies are going to start to eliminate their presence at some events and just go as attendees if they possibly can, because it just costs so much money. And how much value are you really getting from these booths? If you are going to go ahead with the booth, and there's a lot of great reasons to do that, you've got to do something fun, something engaging, something different. The same old is not going to cut it. We went from having booth babes back in the day to happy hours at like 2 p.m. You got to move that forward. You got to do something different. You've got to do something interesting to get people to come to your booth and stand out in 2025. People are going to be busier than ever. Their attention span is going to be even shorter. Before we went on air today, we were talking about short people's attention spans, right? That's going to manifest itself at conferences as well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity out there if you base it on real relationships, and that will see you through.
Yeah. The attention span, how you say that, short span attention, is that how you say it in English? Yeah.
Short attention span.
It's also in real life. It's not only online, for sure. It's everywhere. We already,
Yes, I gotta check my phone. I can't pay attention anymore.
Exactly. Right? I'm talking to and texting at the same time. We already headed to the end. This show goes really, really fast. And before we go, you already mentioned a few predictions. To be fair, you already said it in the beginning. However, I'm gonna put in this hotspot again. Do you have any predictions regarding specifically innovation? Since we are mentioning AI, innovations or challenge, you can go both ways. Innovation or challenge in 2025 that you're keeping an eye on it and see.
Well, obviously, you're keeping an eye on everything AI right now. I'm actually working with an AI company with a product right now because I don't want to miss out on this particular opportunity. But I think in hospitality, it's more of an incremental movement. But if you want to look at the big picture, I think there's a strategy of more and more companies scooping up more and more companies to create hopefully singularized tech stacks. It's getting very complicated out there, even in my business, which is pretty simple, running podcasts and video series. I feel like I've got to get 45 different types of subscriptions to things. I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what the best in class product is out there. I can't keep track of it all. I can't figure it out at all right now. So I think that's where the biggest opportunity in 2025 lies, is people who can help figure that out, and then your strategy getting behind not having to have 5,000 vendors. So I'm seeing either like companies do their own tech stacks, or all these vendors out there that are bringing together a lot of different tech companies under one roof.
Yeah, definitely integrations and all that. It's also
it's too dang
very
complicated.
high. Yeah. Okay. Last 1 minute or so, your final advice, like if you could give an advice for hoteliers, Glenn, to finish, to wrap it up here, what key priority or priorities would you recommend hoteliers to focus on to prepare for the year ahead?
At the end of the day, it all comes down to people, people, people. How are your people and your properties going to be connecting with the people staying in your properties? Without that, you've got nothing. You've just got another pretty box. Guess what? Everyone in our business is freaking amazing at what they do, and there are 10,000 pretty boxes all around you. So the real way to connect with the consumer is through your people, creating those memories that will take them away. And when it's time for them to book again, you'll be top of mind. Also, get to Sphere in Las Vegas, best concert venue of all time. That's all I got to say.
Well, thank you so much, Glenn. Thanks everybody first for joining us. This was so much fun. And so again, Glenn, thank you for taking the time, especially in the end of the year
Well,
Christmas
not that. We still got 2 weeks. I'm not kicking off like you Latin Americans going on vacation.
well, we do like our break, and now and then Carnival we disappear too.
Yep.
Like
Hmm.
March, you won't see me. But thank you so much, Glenn. Thanks everybody for being here today.
Yep.
Uh, Stay tuned for our next episode next year. Don't forget to follow Cloudbeds on LinkedIn, and see you next time. Happy
See
holidays,
ya.
everyone. Bye
Bye.
bye.